Good evening. My name is Joe Bandel and I am the last Rosicrucian. Tonight we're going to talk about Oak Advantage number 15, avoiding sacrifice. Now there's a lot of ways of going about this, but I want to kind of go over some background first. If you want prosperity in life, you need to be producing something that other people want, something that other people value. You can't just go ahead and do what it is that you want if nobody else wants it. In other words, you can do that, but you're not going to be prosperous about it. That's an important concept, because this whole idea of prosperity and producing values that other people want in itself implies a win-win situation. But we're in a new age right now. The energy dynamics are totally different than what they were in the last age. And for the next 2,000 years, the dominant energy is going to be root chakra energy, which deals with basic survival and anything required for survival needs. In other words, it's root chakra, down to earth, common sense, organic stuff. And if you're going to be producing a value that other people want, I think you should be thinking about that. If you're producing a value that's a head trip thing, that's in your head, ultimately there's going to be problems there. And that's because of the nature of the energy that's present. These people that are believing that we are transforming into a totally digital world, or a world that's totally based upon electricity, they're so excited about it, and at the same time it's leaving our society so vulnerable. The digitization of just about everything, the turning to the dependence upon electricity and a power grid that's becoming increasingly fragile, with a weakening, with Gaia's magnetosphere weakening, electrical storms becoming more violent. I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm coming out and say it. If you're promoting digital technology, if you're promoting things that are electrical, that have no or well, that they don't have a foothold in objective reality, organic reality, I personally believe that you're missing the boat. Now there are a I call them neo cheaters, value destroyers. Uh, but we're getting into something that's going to be pretty clear cut. You're going to have people that are eggheads, they're living in their heads, and you're going to have people that are increasingly being led to lead natural lives connected to nature. That's the split that's happening in our world. Um, the technology is going to fail us. This is my belief. It's starting to happen, but they're pushing it, they're crowding it. There's too many things in our society right now that are breaking, or they're on the verge of breaking. They just cannot continue. And when that break happens, which side are you going to be on? You're going to be on the side that's grounded in physical reality, or you're going to be on the side that is with technology, digitization, the computer, the high technology thing. You might think I'm crazy, and that's fine. But what I'm saying, I'm just saying what I believe. Every 2,000 years, a new chakra center, a new type of energy becomes dominant. And the last 2,000 years, were dominated by the third eye energies and with Christianity, which was basically concrete spiritual energy. It was really head trippy, beyond logic and reason energy. And it reached the top, it reached the end, and we're starting back down at the bottom again. And when you're talking about sacrifice, when you're talking about what are you going to spend your time at, what are you going to spend your effort at, what are you going to spend your money at? Is it going to be something that is solid that you can put your fingers on? Is it going to be something like training? Is it going to be, or is it going to be something that's really, really out there, really speculative? Um, I'm concerned. I I was looking at like the neotech advantages here, and they're talking about value producers and altruism and sacrifice, where there's so many things that are calling for us. They're calling for our life force. They're calling for our energy. They're taking our time. We don't have enough time to follow our dreams. Uh, Obligation after obligation of something that's uh, maybe not even tangible. Maybe you can't even put your fingers on it. There's a lot of people, myself included, that believe that the world's financial markets and institutions are at a critical point where they can no longer function in a normal way. I believe that ultimately we're going to be forced to go back to a gold standard. And in the meantime, having your hands on commodities, having your hands on physical objects uh, is the way to go. Because traditionally, over time, when things happen in the financial world, you're going to get uh, massive inflation. They will, and the people with the money, the people that control the world, they will choose inflation over any other thing because they don't want to lose. They don't want to lose their power. Uh, they want to keep their money, and so the only way they can keep their power is to inflate, and inflate until it just it just won't work anymore. So this advantage is not turning out the way that I thought it was going to. I didn't really know how I was going to deal with this stuff, but what it turns out is just kind of a heartfelt message, which kind of says that think of the earth, get back to nature, think of organic needs, have a year's food supply set aside if you can, get as much goods, tangible goods, as you can, and be careful. And anybody that wants to take you for a speculative ride, I'd be very, very cautious and very. Uh, I wouldn't trust. I wouldn't trust them because there's not a lot of things that there's too many things that are on the edge of breaking right now, and you don't want. What you want to do is you want to get yourself in as safe and secure a spot as possible. You don't want to be stretched. You don't want to be stretched in today's world going forward for the next 20 years. Don't count on uh, things being easy. This is a time when root chakra energy is dominant. Root chakra energy, we're already seeing it in the terms of microorganisms like viruses have the same right to life as human beings and can make war with humanity, if you will. In other words, these little microorganisms that have been taking the world by storm the last couple of years, that's an example of what's to come. That's an example of putting people in survival mode. And one way or another, the coming years are putting us increasingly in survival mode. And how you choose, what type of survival mode that you choose is going to be very, very important. My choice is to get us down to earth, to be as solidly connected to nature and other living things as possible. I do not want to live in an artificial world, breathing artificial air and eating artificial food. I don't want that's not a choice that I choose. But this is a choice that you guys are going to choose. And whatever world that you end up in is going to require your time. It's going to require your effort. It's going to require your loyalty. So I would say, what kind, what kind of win-win situation are you looking at? Well, I see Valentine has got somebody at the door, so we're going to call it an evening. Till next time.